Greetings, dear viewer. It is midday on Saturday, the 22nd of October 2022. It's a beautiful day outside in the capital city of New Zealand, Wellington, and it is my absolute privilege and pleasure to welcome you once again to the road to Passenger 2. Oh my goodness, it feels good to be making concert videos again. I have missed this. I got to see Luke Thompson a couple of weeks, actually probably a couple of months ago at this point. It was just before my birthday, and on my birthday I accidentally put my phone through the washing machine, so this will be the first video I've made for YouTube with the new phone. Not that you could tell because I can't stop shaking. Now, if the name Luke Thompson sounds familiar to you, it's because Luke Thompson was the artist that opened for Passenger when I saw him back in 2018. Now, I've just rewatched my original Road to Passenger from 2018, and oh my goodness, I do not like that video. I come across as so ungrateful. There were circumstances around that time that just caused me to be a very negative person, and I can remember how I felt at the time, but I don't think I quite conveyed the reasoning, so I don't recommend rewatching that. Feel free to, I don't know, give it a watch for the concert footage, but I don't like the original Road to Passenger, so this is a fresh slate, fresh start. Yes, I'm sitting here on the couch with all my cool Passenger merch and CDs over the years, wearing my Passenger shirt, ready to go. I'm going to head into town shortly, do a bit of shopping before tonight. Oh my goodness, where do I begin? I do apologise for the shakiness of the camera. I hope that doesn't bother you too much. But if you're watching this, I presume that you're a fan of the artist Passenger, also known as Mike Rosenberg. And as you can tell, so am I. I adore Passenger. Now, of course, most people know him for the hit single Let Her Go, which now has like 2.3 billion views on YouTube. It's a worldwide phenomenon. Absolutely great song. But that was 10 years ago, and he has subsequently released many an album. Now, I have seen him before in Auckland, 2018, at the Power Station, which is great. But this time around, his world tour, which is concluding today, the final show of the tour is today, so I'm looking forward to seeing the energy he brings to it. He's going to Wellington as well. My goodness, hooray, because I now live in Wellington. So because I live in the city that the concert is, there'll be less, cafe footage or whatever I used to do. It's been so long since concerts were a thing. I'm glad I had Luke Thompson to help me to readjust to what it's like to go to a live gig. But tonight, I think, is going to be big, because I remember he sold out previously. Maybe that was just because he went to the One City, and of course that was pre-pandemic times, so concerts were much bigger than they are now. But regardless, I cannot wait for tonight. Getting all ready to go, catching up on some Passenger music videos, picking which CDs to bring with me just in case I bump into him to sign. Gosh, what's the appropriate number of CDs to ask someone to sign? Probably one. And of course, spare t-shirt, in case anybody wants it. I'm just on my way into town to do a bit of shopping and bits and bobs before the concert. I managed to resist the urge for so long, but last night I finally caved, and I looked at the set list, and I'm very happy. Again, 2018, I was a different person, quite a negative person actually, and I was new to concert going, especially going to Passenger. I didn't realise it was just going to be him, rather than him in a band. But now I'm fully accustomed to that, and I'm looking forward to it. And I've seen so many solo artists without backing bands, and they're just as amazing as if you see a full band live. In most cases. Arctic Monkeys. Anyway, though my absolute diehard favourite songs still aren't going to be played, I don't care, because there are just as many good ones, and thankfully there's more of a diversity in the tracks being played from different albums. So we've got at least one song from not necessarily all the albums, but I remember last time there were 2 covers. There was a song of Divers and Submarines, which I thought was a bit strange because it's a really old one, and not I don't even know if it was a fan favourite. He played Susanna David, which personally just wasn't that keen on. But tonight, there's going to be so many good ones. We've got something from Patchwork, we've got something from Runaways. Heck, he's even playing a track off Birds That Flew and Ships That Sailed, which wasn't a major release. But my goodness, blink of an eye, that is one of the best Passenger songs, even though it's recently released. It is so good. So needless to say, very excited. It is a beautiful day. I look like a mad person talking to their cell phone when it's very clear I'm not speaking to anyone on the other side. So I'm just gonna wait. Okay, I've had an interesting couple of hours. So initially my plan was to head into town and pick up a prescription from the chemist and maybe pop by JB Hi-Fi for the long weekend sale, and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe bump into Passenger somewhere. because I know Mike likes to walk around the cities that he visits for concerts and sometimes does like musical covers out in the street. But as I'm walking through the street, I see someone I recognise, and like they're busking. There was a busker playing some music, and I'm like, wait a second, that looks like, is that who I think it is? And has an amazing voice. And sure enough, it was Leilani, who was the musician that opened for the Luke Thompson gig I went to that I mentioned earlier. She was just, you know, out in Cuba Street busking. It was amazing. It was like a free concert. So I stopped there for like an hour and a quarter and just listened to her. And she does have an Instagram that I can share, so I will leave that in the description. And if she ends up making I don't know, some kind of YouTube music page that I can link, I will definitely do that. Apparently there's an album coming soon, which is awesome because she has an amazing voice. And then I went to JB Hi-Fi for ages, bunch of $3 CDs. It's awesome. I'm very tired. It's 2 o'clock. It's very hot. Wait, it's not 2 o'clock, it's nearly 3 o'clock. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock. My mistake. My goodness, look at this beautiful day. I promise you we haven't had weather like this in Wellington for a long time. So yeah, I'm gonna go home, put on lots of deodorant, have something to eat and drink, and then probably line up very early, because last time I made the mistake of going only half an hour early and didn't get a good spot. But I'm determined to today. It is just before 5 p.m. I made sure on Google that I wasn't going to be too early, so apparently the doors open at 7. Well, the event is at 7. So I'm guessing that means doors open 7, opening act 8, passenger at 9 sort of thing. But either way, it's a 20-minute walk up a steep hill, which I'm not ready for, but oh well. Oh man, look at that hill. And to think students climb that every day. Well, I'm definitely too early, because I'm here at 5:15 and there's lots of no entry signs around, and the opening act is still rehearsing at the moment, so I guess I just sit outside the front doors and wait, and hopefully no one's going to growl at me for being here, because there's no entry signs all over the place, but there's also people all over the place, so I'm like, which direction are you not supposed to enter? Anyway. Thankfully, after I stopped recording, one of the event organisers came out and explained to me where I had to wait outside, and that's where I met a couple of cool people, and after about an hour of waiting, a fairly large crowd emerged, and we were all very excited. We're going to Passenger with Dell and Nate.
And we all sit around the fire. We feel so much better now. And we all sit around the fire. We feel a little warmer now. And we all sit around the fire. We feel so much better now. Thank you so much.
Come on, so strive for love, strive for living. Get what you need and give what you give. Life's for the living, so living, or you better off there. Hey, now. I sit on this table for one. Yeah, and I have been here before. It's a little less than I'd had in mind, but I would not ask for more. Do you remember that evening in Queenstown, walking down by the pier, sun going down to the piano man, and the moon shining down so clear? You know, I hate them fussy eaters. You cook them for heaters. It's the only thing that rhymed. I only eat pizza and chips. I hate stepping outside for a smoke and some guy coughs like your lungs are his. Just grow old with grace. Have you seen Liz Truss's face? She looks like she's been hit by a truck. I wanna see my grandson one last time. Wanna see his eyes sparkling, stare back into mine. Now my time is short, I wanna see my daughter, tell her I'm sorry for the things I told her, and I'd do it if I had to walk. Oh, I'm taking this bike and I'm riding to New York. Down in the grass, getting lost in her white eyes. Wouldn't have traded for anyone, and I thought it would stay the same for all my life. I was just too young to know. I let her down and let her go. But time taught me how to cry. The blinking of an eye. Too hard to see, we're in heaven. Cause you only need a light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only you can go when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. As loud as you can, come on, and you let her go. If you can't get what you love, learn to love the things you've got. If you can't be what you want, learn to be the things you're not. If you can't get what you need, learn to be the things that stop you dreaming. All the things that stop you dreaming. All the things that stop you dreaming. You know what I need to whisper in a world that only shouts. Yeah, sometimes you can't change, you can't choose. Sometimes it seems you gain less than you lose. You guys with me? I said, Wellington, are you with me? New Zealand, are you with me? Come on! Now I got a hole in my pocket, a hole in my shirt, a whole lot of trouble, you see. But now the money's gone, like carries on. Let me see like a hole in the head.
It is 10 minutes to midnight. The concert itself finished at about 10:30, but me and three wonderful people that I met while lining up early and pretty much spent the concert with, we waited out back at the venue for a while because one of us had apparently met him out back of a venue before, but after waiting for about half an hour, 40 minutes, it was clear that he had already gone. So during the show he said, "Thank you so much, maybe see you in town for a drink," or something like that. So we embarked on essentially a Wellington pub crawl where we didn't drink, we just went from bar to bar just seeing if we could find Mike because Dell was one of us, had a Whispers CD that she wanted signed, and also wanted Passenger or Mike to sign her arm, because she gets like tattoos of signatures and stuff. Of course, I had a couple of CDs that I wouldn't mind getting signed as well. And yeah, so we just spent like an hour and a half going through town trying to find him. And there's just no real way to say that without it sounding creepy, but it was in a nice way, you know, like we tried to see him after the venue, we couldn't, so we tried to find him in town. Purely innocent, I promise. Hello and welcome to the end of the video. It is tomorrow now, and by tomorrow I mean it is Sunday, and I've spent the day just recovering from too many late nights, including last night. So, to recap the evening, I arrived just after 5 PM, so 2 hours before the door opens, sat down outside the venue because I spent ages trying to find the entrance, and apparently it wasn't the main entrance, there was another entrance, so I saw 3 different doors, but there was a 4th door up the stairs, and a guy very politely came out and said, hey, look, we're locking down the building, you have to go wait up the stairs. That's where I met Nate, who was also quite early, a Canadian guy, who's just in New Zealand doing like a trek, a tour, you know, climbing mountains, that kind of cool stuff. And then there was a girl named Dell, who was a student at Victoria University, which is where the location was, the Hunter Lounge was. So she was using her student ID to let all the security guards in. And then there was a 4th person, I cannot remember her name, but she was a German lady, a little bit older than the rest of us. And I think her Instagram says her name is Nina, but I can't remember her name, and I'm really sorry. But us 4, kind of pretty much just like stuck together because we were the really, really early ones. And when we got inside the venue, like it was us 4 up against the barrier to start with. And that was quite cool. Hollow Coves were really cool. They were quite talented. A duo from the Gold Coast who, you know, they told a little story how they were going to go into trades and like they had a career all lined up, and then one of their songs, you know, went viral on TikTok and stuff. So they're like, well, maybe we should try this music out, you know. And it's paid off well for them. They were very cool. Then Passenger comes on. He performs 15 wonderful songs as opposed to the Auckland gig from 2018 where he did 9. And it was a wonderful time. He was getting quite emotional at points because obviously the end of the first big tour after lockdown. So he was getting emotional. The crowd was getting emotional. I had a wonderful time. Being right at the front. I've only ever been up the front of a concert once, and that was for Bastille, which obviously that was like a full band, so that was a bit more intense. But this time it was like a nice intimate show, being right in front of someone. But the venue was packed. Like, someone said, I overheard someone say that it could probably fit like 1,000 people. I don't know how, but if there were 1,000 people there, they must have been pretty squished. Regardless, it was a fantastic time. There was a big merch stand, and I managed to sell the size small shirt that I got the wrong size from the official Passenger store, because unlike the 2019 show, which only had a couple of CDs and a tea towel, this one actually had the tour shirt, which is the one I was wearing yesterday. It had like 5 CDs and 4 vinyls of Passenger, as well as some Hollow Coves merch. And like a really boring tote bag, but I got the tote bag anyway because I needed something. And a little Let Her Go signed lyric sheet because, I don't know, a memento. There it is, as if you didn't already know the lyrics to Let Her Go. But I was disappointed because I missed out on I think it was either London in the Springtime or The Way That I Love You lyric sheet, which you got for pre-ordering songs for the Drunken Broken Hearted through JB Hi-Fi Australia. But they didn't have that in New Zealand, which I remember getting annoyed at the time. But I've got a different signed song sheet. $20 for a bit of paper. But no, it was a really great evening. Mike put on a fantastic show. Jared, his good friend and photographer, was there as well. So I was like, yo, what's up, Jared? Hi, Jared. Didn't hear me, but still, it was a great time. I had like on my phone, like, please play 27, which he kind of saw, but couldn't read properly. So I was like, oh, that's fine. But in the end, Dell, like, kind of shouted out, please play Riding to New York, which is a fantastic song from Whispers. And he did. He said he was going to play a little bit, play the whole thing. But he ended up replacing The Way That I Loved You, which is another song I really like, but honestly, Riding to New York trumps any of that. I'm rushing to get through this because I don't want this video to be super long, and I really want to edit it before tomorrow. The gig was great. The people I hung out with was great. He did the full encore this time, all 3 songs. It was just an amazing time. And yeah, as I said earlier in the video, afterwards we waited at the back door after going to the merch stand to see if we could, you know, just happen to bump into him and get him to do some signatures and be like, hey, you know, just, you know, meet the artist. That'd be cool. But it was very clear that he'd already left. And I was wrong. The gig finished just before 10 PM. So we spent 2 hours in town trying to find him. But that was fun. That was fun. And then we all parted ways, the 4 of us, you know, probably never to see each other again. Except for Dell, who told me Amy Shark, the Australian artist, is playing at the same venue in December, which I didn't know, because artists don't advertise themselves. No matter how big you are, you still need to advertise your shows. Anyway, overall, Absolutely amazing experience. Met some pretty cool people that I'll probably never meet again, but it was nice not being like so alone at a gig. I got a boring tote bag I'll probably never use and a cool lyric sheet, but hey, mementos of a wonderful evening. Thank you, Nate, Dell, and the German lady, whose name I think is Nina. Thank you, Mike, for putting on an incredible show, and Jared for taking incredible photos. And thank you very much for watching. I hope this isn't as long or as boring as my previous Road to Passenger video, which I guess I'll link on the screen. No, I can't do it. I'll put it in the description. But please feel free to check out Leilani, who was the opening act for the Luke Thompson concert that I saw busking in the street. Has an amazing voice. Be sure to check out Passenger's official merch store to get all of it. Just buy all the albums. Get all the albums. There's 14 of them. If you don't like all of them, just pick your favorite one. And yeah, just again, thank you so very much for watching. Thanks to Passenger for an awesome show. And I will see you guys next month for the Road to the Killers 2, because the Killers are coming here to Auckland. And I can't freaking wait. See you next time. Plain white tote bag, $3. Passenger tote bag, $25.